Hey guys, welcome back to the Wild Wrestling Channel. I am your host, Seth. I am finally back. I haven't really posted a full YouTube video here in about 3 weeks. I've just been doing stuff. But now I am back here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my NXT Stand and Deliver 2026 predictions. So let's hop right into the video. Play the intro. First up on the countdown show, we have Shiloh Hill, Ren Sinclair, Eli Knight, and Hank and Tank taking on Birthright. This match came about this past week on Tuesday in New York, as after Shiloh Hill cost Birthright their match, he went to the back and saw how Eli Knight and all of them were so sad they don't have a shot at getting on the Stand and Deliver card. But then Shiloh Hill, using his big brain, using that great math he can do, figured out that they can have a good old 10-person tag team match. And now it has been made official on the countdown show. This should be a super chaotic match, I'm expecting. I don't think this is supposed to be a good match. I think it's just going to be super funny and super chaotic with a 10-person field. And in the end, after a crazy back-and-forth match with so many chaotic spots, I think Shiloh Hill, Eli Knight, Ren Sinclair, and Hank and Tank are going to defeat Birthright here. I think just as a fun little match, this would be a good way just to get the show going, get the crowd hype. And I think that Shiloh Hill's team will walk out on top. Now, up first on the main show, we have Swipe Right defending their NXT Tag Team titles against Los Los Americanos earned the shot this past Tuesday in New York, in the theater at Madison Square Garden. And Swipe Right have now been champions for a little bit now, who are still very young in their careers, just came up from Evolve, now have to defend their titles. I think this should be an interesting match here. I don't feel like it's going to be a great match or anything, but it's good to get the tag team titles on there. And these are two solid teams. We might want to have had, I probably would have preferred a team from NXT facing Swipe Right, but Los Americanos is still a good team, and they'll at least put on a solid match here. And I think overall it'll be really solid, but in the end, Swipe Right, in my opinion, has got to walk out with the titles. I just don't see a team from Raw grabbing the titles, and Swipe Right's been pretty hot recently, and it makes sense for them to just keep the titles and keep running with them. So after a nice match here, I think Swipe Right will walk out of Stand and Deliver as the NXT Tag Team Champions. Next up, we have Miles Bourne taking on Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American title. Johnny Gargano won the shot in the 4-way eliminator in the funniest way of, falling on to his opponent to pin him and get the win. And now he thinks that he's starting to find himself again after him being delusional and just sad all the time. And now he really wants the North American title. That'll help him find himself again. But Miles Bourne, who just won the title, isn't ready to let it go, as he's finally starting to climb up the ranks in NXT. And overall, I think this will be a great match. We love seeing Johnny Gargano always make an appearance in NXT, as he's a great wrestler and one of the old faces of the brand. And Miles Bourne has been climbing up in the ranks, like I said, and has been a really good up-and-coming star. So this will be an epic match between the two. But I think in the end, after a great match, I think Miles Bourne is going to walk out as the NXT North American Champion. As much as it would be cool to see Johnny get the strap, Miles just won the title, and like I said, he's been going after it for so long, going after a title, and now, as he's rising up, it doesn't make sense to immediately drop him and take off the title. So I think Miles Bourne will walk out of St. Louis still the North American Champion. Next up, we have Sol Ruca taking on her former best friend, Zarya. Zarya and Sol Ruca have had such a long history here. They were tag team of the year last year, and just had so much going last year as Zaruka. They challenged for the tag titles. They were always there to have each other's backs. But now, as Zarya feels like Sol Ruca was taking so many opportunities for herself, she snapped, and when Sol Ruca had her NXT Women's title opportunity, she turned on her. And that has set up this big rivalry culminating here at Stand and Deliver. This should be a great match between the two. I think it'll be a super good back and forth between them, and it'll tell a great story. It'll just be you'll feel the tension in the air there in St. Louis, and I think overall it'll be a great match. And after this, at the end, when the bell finally rings, I think Zarya will be the one who stands tall. Even though Sol Ruca is great and she's probably going to go to the main roster soon, Zarya just deserves it a lot more. I don't see why in this whole storyline you're talking about how Zarya felt like she's been losing opportunities and not been given them that she thinks she could do well in. So I feel like the best thing to do is let Zarya rise herself up in NXT to get to an NXT Women's Championship match and let her walk out of Stand and Deliver on top. Next up, we have Jacy Jayne defending her NXT Women's Championship against Lola Vice and Kendall Gray. This past week on NXT, Lola Vice and Kendall had their number one contenders match, and Kendall Gray was able to get the pin over Lola, which was counted, but then we also saw Kendall Gray tapping out to Lola Vice. in a different camera angle. So it was ruled now, as they both thought that, as two referees thought they each should have won, that it'll be a triple threat match to Stand and Deliver. Now Jessie Jane has to defend against both Lola and Kendall. Now, I think that was the right call, because this will make this match way more interesting and super fun and chaotic here. And now we won't have to worry about Fatal Influence, because even though they might come out, I think Kendall, first of all, will have Renz and Claire, but also Kendall and Lola will be able to fight them off together. But at the end of the day, I still think Jessie Jane is going to walk out with the NXT Women's title. As much as it'd be cool to see Kendall or Lola grab it, I think right now might not be the best time here. I think Jessie, with Fatal Influence, is going to find a way to get past all of them and get a nice little pinfall and walk out of Stand and Deliver, still your NXT Women's Champion. And finally, in the main event, we have Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Whoa. Man, he keeps doing that to me. He will be defending his NXT Championship against Ricky Saints, Tony D'Angelo, and Ethan Page in a Fatal 4-Way. This match has come out, as we saw at Vengeance Day, Ricky and Joe Hendry went one-on-one, and then Ethan got into the mix, as they're both friends with Vanity Project, and Ethan was the one in their tag team match who pinned Joe Hendry. And Tony has said over the last couple weeks, after finishing off with Dark State, that he wants the NXT Championship, so he's found his way into the mix. And now we got this chaotic, star-studded Fatal 4-Way, probably the 4 people in NXT from 2024 and 2025 who, really stand out and aren't so of the new talent. They're the kind of the veterans on there, and they will be battling it out for the NXT Championship. I think this will be an epic match. I think it'll be chaotic with many crazy spots, but also just a very good match in total. And in the end, even though all of these men definitely deserve to win it here, I think Joe Hendry is still going to walk out as NXT Champion. As much as it would be cool to see Tony, Ricky, Ethan win the title for the first time or once again, I think Joe's too early in his reign, and I feel like he definitely could have more going on there. I know some people think he could lose it and go to the main roster, but I think he still has a little more time with the title before he drops it. So I think Joe Hendry will win this Fatal 4-Way and retain his NXT Championship. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and turn on that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.